Head on over to G2A and enter Kami's Crystal Cave to get some sweet deals on crystals and more. Remember to click on the lowest price and use the promo code KamiVS to get the best deal. G2A. What's going on, everyone? Kami here, and welcome back to another installment of my Champions A through Z series, Cassie. I know a lot of you have been freaking out, and by a lot of you, I mean some of you might have been freaking out, wondering if this was another series that I was going to drop after just doing a couple of them, because I do that way too much. But I just really wanted to take a break and look at the PTS, look to see what's to come up, because I always like to give you guys a heads up, whoever watches my videos, to give you an idea of the changes and what my thoughts are on that. So now we're back to the A through Z. I think I'm going to be changing it because the reception I'm getting is not the greatest, and I want to make sure that I make this as streamlined as possible. And my number one concern is how long it's going to take to get through every champion, where people are sitting there looking at their watch being like, man, I can't wait till they go through, Kami gets to Z. It's like, that's going to take a while. So I'm going to temporarily, or maybe permanently, be cutting out the second part of the series, being the non-meta talents. Well, I'm going to spend this video talking about why I think the talents aren't that good. I'll be going over the loadouts of the other talents. I'll be going with the loadouts of every talent, and we will just kind of, just like I said, discuss why I don't think the other talents are as played or as good, and then we'll jump into the best talent gameplay, and then we'll move on to the next champion. So, you know, it allows me to get through all the champions a little bit quicker. So starting off, Cassie, what is my overall impression of her from the very get-go? Well, I play a lot of her, and I think she's pretty busted. Not busted, kind of busted. Her damage burst is absolutely insane. It's below Leon's, but she could do it a little bit more consistently. Kinda, not really. Leon, I think, is a little bit more of a please nerf type of situation, but I think Cassie's definitely up there. I've seen some Twitter arguments about how maybe her damage burst isn't that big of a deal. It's mainly cards in her loadout, which we'll be going over. But overall, I think she is very, very good. And there's sometimes I pick Big Game Hunter, or Big Game, sorry, and I don't even use the right click, and I just left click and Q, and I'm like, she's good. Like, her base kit is just good. We have the three talents, Exaction, Impulse, and Big Game. So let's jump into the Better Meta website. Check it out. It's got a lot of stats, and we'll see which is the best talent. But I'm pretty sure Impulse can be number one. Let's see. And it looks like I was correct. At least a 2.06, 2.05. I don't really go back to the previous patches anymore, because this patch has come, it's been out long enough, so we can pretty much just take this as our core examples. But it definitely looks like that Impulse having 14,000 games and 7,000 games for Big Game, it's just better, right? We can look over a win rate and see the Big Game and Impulse are pretty much up there. And what's surprising is Impulse having more games still has a better win rate, kind of reinforces the fact that Impulse is just a really solid talent. It's not the most fun talent in the world. It just gives you extra damage on your blast shot. It also like reduces the cooldown or something. I think you should know these things, Kami. We've definitely established that Impulse is the best or the most popular talent, and it has the best win rate. So I think we can say, at least stats wise, it is the best. Let's check out the damage to see where Cassie's going to lie up in there. And she's actually somewhat low. She's never really been that crazy. If we just unclick this and then click Cassie, you can see kind of the progression she's made. She's always been very, very solid, but her win rate surprisingly isn't above 50% like some of the other damages. If we look at popularity though, which is, this could be the big thing, she's actually dropped down a decent amount. That's crazy to me, man. That's crazy. Let's look at it compared to like Leon. Leon's definitely jumped up. Yeah, she's just always been really good. To be fair, there's a hard drop off. You guys can see that Tyra, 42% of the games chosen, then 32%, then 27, then 27. So you have Victor, Willow, Leon, and Tyra. Then you have Cassie, Bomb King, and then Vivian. I don't know about that. Drogo, Strix. Then you get a little bit more of the niche type of champions in the Shaolin. Rest in peace down there, buddy. 4.8%. But I think that kind of makes sense to me, at least from what I see in games. Seeing a lot of Tyra, seeing a lot of Leon, Willow, Cassie, Victor, Bomb King, all these make sense. And it kind of makes you wonder, like, what needs to happen to Omani? What needs to happen to Kanessa that makes them a little bit more popular? Or maybe the top line brought down a little bit? But okay, Cassie, Impulse, got it. And before I jump into the training ground and give you my overall tips, my thoughts about some things before we jump into the game with Impulse, I wanted to go over the loadouts that I would build for Exaction and Big Game. For Exaction, I definitely think Incitement at a level 5 is mandatory. Some people might want to be tempted to buy Chronos, and while I think it's incredibly fun, missing out on Cauterizing Wrecker is a bit of a bummer. And it sucks playing half of the game, getting your required red items, and then you get Chronos, you get to have fun, and then the game's over. So if you just kind of want to have fun, you have other champions on your team that can go a decent amount of Wrecker and Cauterize and be good at that and you just want to push into the back line and try to be a little bit of a flank, I think Exaction can be a lot of fun. I'll go over a tip specifically for Exaction when you can't play that aggressive here in a second. Onslaught, getting 40% lifesteal. This is something that you get the bonus damage after the shot, so that just pairs really well with you doing more damage. You get life back. You get more life back. Somersault, something that I think I saw Ricotta suggest at one point. He's a pro player on the Knights team. I think he's still there, right? Don't make me look stupid. Was mentioning that one of the big problems with Cassie is not so much being able to chain her abilities together where she can shoot, she can blast out, and then she can disengage, and she can shoot again. It's just a huge amount of burst. But the fact that she can roll so much and get out for free is what makes her really annoying. I think it could be toned down. Maybe you could add in an additional time on that, maybe like 25 seconds, 30 seconds on the somersault cooldown. Tumble gives you some extra health, and then quiver. I always like having like one of these, an extra shot. Seems good, man. But the main things you're gonna want to get is incitement, onslaught, and then of course somersault. I like the extra damage here, or the extra health here, just to survive a little bit more. We go on to big game. You're gonna see what do you expect to see? You see tutorial. Tutorial? I need a tutorial on English. Territorial. Reduce the cooldown of disengage by 5 seconds. You get your damage from right click. You want your right clicks up more often. More health because you're going to be standing there and you're going to be tanking. You're just going to be pounded into the tanks and you're probably going to get a shot out a decent amount. So getting a little bit extra health is going to help. Somersault 3, like I said, a staple in all Cassie loadouts, at least mine personally. And then quiver because you want, normally I put this at a 1, but having it at a 2 because you're just right clicking and then you just want to left click as much as possible before the debuff of big game goes off. And then also getting you additional ammo when you get a blast shot off. I guess I should probably specify that big game gives you an extra 10% of their maximum health and damage for 4 seconds. You want to make sure pow, 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 get as many shots off as possible. Let's jump into a training ground real quick. I'll go over you some tips and we'll jump into game. All right, so let me go over real quick what people have issues with Cassie, and one of my issues, although some people might not agree with this, I think that her burst is too quick. Let's go ahead and show you what I mean. Here we go. And then bam, they're not able to be one-shotted, but that's just a huge amount of burst. If they've taken any damage, it's rough. And people have maybe suggested, and I've also suggested, but I'm gonna retract it, to make it so you can't like shoot and Q so quickly. So instead of being like shoot and the blast shot, it's more like shoot, blast shot. And it kind of stops the amount of burst. Everything has a little bit of a buffer in between. Overall, I think it's gonna make Cassie feel awful. So meh, maybe her base damage needs to be nerfed a little bit. Maybe for mobility, like incitement, or by incitement, I mean somersault, be toned down a little bit. Maybe that would inherently just reduce the effectiveness of Cassie. I don't know, but to me, the burst is what's really a big deal. And looking at the talents, impulse, the reason I like impulse is because you just get it. I peek around the corner, I see this Victor, boom, I have taken full advantage of impulse. It's insane. If I go into loadouts, and let's say we do exaction, exaction requires you to roll, then hit the shot. That's two things that need to be fulfilled, and I'm not a big fan of that. It's the same thing with big game. Well, I would say I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, like, that's why I think that impulse is just better. It's better for newer players, and it's easier to confirm for pretty much anybody out there, including myself. Where this one, I have to right click, and then I have to left click a bunch to get the shots off, and that could require you to stay out in the middle of the open, maybe get hit by the enemies, or if you're mainly targeting tanks, Fernando has a shield, Atlas can rewind, Barrack has a shield. There's just so many things, and people could just hide behind corners. It's not instantly confirmable like impulse. As for specific tricks and tips, Cassie, like I said, the burst, it's left click, then Q, then right click, then left click again. That's going to be your maximum burst, and you can essentially just almost hold them down, but I'm so used to just kind of rolling them out of my fingers, something you want to get used to too. Exaction, a lot of people think with exaction you just want to roll in and get some shots, but there's times that you're going to put yourself in a really bad situation. One trick I would love to see a lot of people doing is if they just want to peek around the corner, they can roll into a wall like that and then get the shot off, and then they can pretty much do it again, and then you can get the kill. Rolling into walls not only gives you the bonus damage, but even if you don't have the exaction, you see I can kind of peek around the corner with it. Also a really good tactic to use with the roll. And a little KSA, a Kami service announcement. The ults from Cassie not only lets you see through walls, but you're also CC immune. So if you expect a con about to grab you, you expect anything that's going to be bad, you hear an Anara winding up telling you you're not welcome here, feel free to use the ult for CC immunity. You may not be able to take full advantage of the wall hacks, but being able to avoid a stun is pretty good. Let's jump into game. I'll show you the loadout that I made for Impulse, or do we already look at that? I don't know. We're gonna jump into game. All right, here we go. Impulse. That extra health, really helpful. Somersault, like I said before, absolutely mandatory in my opinion in all the builds, and probably should be nerfed at some point. And then we have a few things that are apparent. I went over all this with you. We're gonna be going cauterize because we do not need to go wrecker because they don't have a shield user. It's always nice to have that. When it's like a Nara and then Con, you're like, oh man, that Con shield is rough because he gets that plus healing. Then you have to split between cauterize and Cauterize and Record. I can't even say words right now. I'm gonna run from this person behind me if they're chasing me. Oh, yeah, she is coming. There is a person coming at me in Dragon Shadow. What I was saying before is having to split between Wrecker and Cauterize is kind of rough. I think Cassie is a really good Wrecker, so going Wrecker with her because her single shots do a lot of damage. You don't really need to be out in the open that much. And you can kind of just pop shot and get those big damages on there. I kind of want to... Ooh, so can we hit these long range shots? Kind of want to consider waiting for a person to come up over here. That's what I was kind of considering, waiting for them. They never really drop down to the stairs, but you can kind of disengage them off the map. That'd be really funny. This range for Cassie is super inconsistent to get your shots off, so you may think we want to move up just a little bit. Gonna go for the shield. We'll dash in on that. Since we didn't shoot it, we're not gonna have the maximum damage coming at us right out the gates. Could have maybe disengaged her. Definitely want to disengage her. But it could have disengaged the Grok out of the totem. Would have been pretty helpful. What do we have up right now? We don't have our Atlas, so it means we don't have a lot of our frontline pressure. I'm gonna wait for this. This Inara is cracking me up, dude. She went the impulse. Kind of a bummer though, because it hurts her survivability, but really funny build. Don't shoot through walls, Kami. That's not possible. Our Atlas is back, so I'm gonna give him a nice little route to see where he wants to go. He just wants to shoot people in the face. I think that's fair. Ooh, what is hitting me over here? I guess if they run in a straight line, it is okay to shoot at that range. Boop. Oh, Willow just went flying. There's a person over to the right, unless that's just shots from the dredge blowing up. Not sure. Dredge throwing me off audio. Throwing off the audio. Oh, that is fun. That is... I can't lie, man. That's a fun build. Let's see if we can come up behind this emoji. There's a guy super low. Dredge! Captain! Run away! Grok coming in hot. Not doing enough, baby. Not doing enough. I think there's a guy right over here to the right. Oh, that's not a guy. That's a rock woman. Woman. Whoa, man. Excuse you? Gonna go for the shield. Yes, she's probably reloaded in that time frame. Maybe get the disengage. Nope. Okay, we hide now. Going all right for us. Now, she went for an early reveal. We're gonna go for a little bit later of a reveal. There's no one falling back right now. We don't really know if they are. Ooh. No one behind me? Nope. If any of them would have fallen back and got me in the butt, that would have been good. We're probably just gonna die, so we're just gonna dive in here and die on the payload. We want to make sure to, by payload I mean point, we want to stall the point as long as possible. We also want to not stagger ourselves and die with the rest of our team. With a two-person comeback, the two-person comeback mechanic, that means it's going to cap a lot faster. Not a lot, but a decent amount faster than it would if it was just 1-1. So this might be kind of impossible to pull off getting inside, but that's okay. Always want to pre-lead your shots just a little bit, right? Especially the longer distances. So I kind of want to preemptively shoot right there. Well, okay. That probably wouldn't have worked out very well. This will be fun. Haha, threw her off. Whoa! This is bad. We're in a bad situation. We got to drop down to this emoji. If she peeks around the corner, she's got full stacks on me. She doesn't have her shield up right now, so we can do that for free. We're probably going to die here, but we want to take out as much as we can before we die. I think I had my blast shot at the very end. I was spamming Q, but I think I had like 1 second left on the cooldown. Maybe could have got the kill on the Grok. Ah, yes, Cauterize 3, the opposite of fun. The get out of here. That's about it. The get out of here. I want to see where that Grok's coming in from. I've got Cauterize 3 on him, so he's not going to be able to stay alive very long. I shot that. That's not good. I'm going to pop this emoji up. Never mind. I'm going to pop this Cassie up. I should probably try to help out with that emoji. Where is this dredge shooting me from? Or shooting from? Oh, there he goes. Where did he go? Cassie! Don't peek this with a blast shot combo. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we gotta watch out to our right. Is there a Grok behind us? Yes, there is. There's a person shooting behind me right now. This person's probably gonna ghost walk soon. He doesn't even need to! Hit your shots, Kami! What's this skin? Is this like a newer skin? I like it. I should probably not get distracted with that. Ooh, she let that burst go off before. I don't think this'll, what's up, Inara? I didn't know you wanted to party this bad. Yeah, Nara's still underneath us, right? Yeah. I'm just stand right here on my body blocker. Woo! The classic Cassie body block under the Nara. Usually that's backwards. Well, the other way. Dodging mortars every day of my life playing up against Dredge. Yeah, they're over there. That should hit. Okay, that first shot wasn't let enough. Hello. Oh man, it feels bad seeing an Inara with the impasse ability and then not being able to take advantage of it. And I'm actually holding down I was holding down my. Stop it. Rude. What I was saying was I was holding down my mouse one to shoot there. So I've had a lot of people ask me, like with Leon or with Cassie, do you click every single time or do you hold? And I think when I'm really far away and I'm just wanting to fire as fast as possible and they're not really looking at me or actively trying to dodge, I'll hold it. And there's also times where I feel really cocky that I can hit my shots and I'll hold it down just to get that extra millisecond to where I might not time the correct timing to shoot. But in general, I like to click to shoot if you're trying to be super accurate when people are doing defensive maneuvers. What are they right now? Would I go blast? I think I would go blast for Dredge and, no. Well, I mean, she's not blast shot. And I think the shots, I think it was better to go Haven. But most of the time I like to click. But occasionally I will hold it down. Dredge. Right now I'm holding it. That might have cost me a few shots. I'm not sure. Get behind this grok. Yee! Maybe I hold it more than I think I do. Ooh, that guy got pelted. Uh-oh, I think someone's coming. Once someone peeks around the corner, I'm gonna roll away. If not, I'm just gonna chill and just out of combat regen. Our healer is coming back. Rolling on through. Those are seedlings, which are fine. Those are all clicks. And there's an NR on here. I'm going to reload before the wall goes down. Get the cauterize on that grok ASAP. Are you an enemy? What is happening? Dude's just shooting balls everywhere, I tell you what. Cassie will be coming in here soon. There she is. That's emoji, JK. There's the shot, or there's the bubble. Whoa. Nope. Rocky Boo! You can't run from the cauterize 3. I was holding it there, in case you're wondering. You know what? I just hold that all the time. Never click, just hold it. So as always, Cassie being ridiculously good and being the top 3 champions picked, minus the tanks, of course. There's a reason why she's so good. And there's a reason why Impulse is so good. And I've talked about this, previously in the video about how Big Game Hunter, or Big Game, I always call it Big Game Hunter. Big Game forces you to hit a shot and then hit multiple shots after that, where they can hide behind walls or throw up a wall for Inara's sake. Or hide behind a shield or something, and that makes it so Wrecker's more important than if they have someone like Inara where you want to get caught. It's awkward because Inara is so good for Big Game Hunter. That could have been something that could have been something I considered, but Impulse is so good because when you click the button, it just happens. Exactly, you need to roll and then hit the next shot. Impulse, you just need to hit a shot just like a regular one, except it's bound to Q. The loadout card that allows you to reduce the cooldown on it does help it out immensely, but in general, Impulse, just such burst helps you destroy 1v1s, and it's not that bad of a damage amplification when you're just talking about blowing up on tanks. Obviously, Big Game's gonna be better for those big, beefy tanks, but that's why Impulse is so good. It's just easy to use and easy to confirm. I mean, these A through Z series, you really got to think, like, what am I trying to accomplish here? And with this change of eliminating the bad talents from them, because a lot of people just didn't seem like they were that interested in it. I still covered over them and why I thought they weren't as good, but I think I just want to stick with this top talent. But then you also have champions that I'm not that good at, and I could play them to try to learn, or I could just move on and just play the champions that I feel really comfortable in to really try to help out people trying to play them. Like these next upcoming ones being Drogos and Dredge. People have been joking about, man, Ds are going to be rough, and I'm like, yes, they will, because I never play Dredge. I think I have the least amount of playtime on Dredge. I played a couple times, and that's it. And Drogos, which has a lot more playtime, but not that much, and I'm not very good at them. So I don't know if I can help that much. So if you guys want to see me suffer and try to help along the way, let me know down in the comments what you think about this A through Z series. You want me to focus on champions that I am really comfortable with and I really feel like I can help? Or do you just want to see the complete A through Z series? I am cutting out the second part of it, but I still want to continue this A through Z series. So let me know, again, down in the comments, do you want to see me go through everything? Or you just want me to really focus on, I think I could do a lot more teaching on champions that I'm really comfortable with, like Cassie. Anyway, I'm going to head out of here. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm not going to be one of those people who asks you to like and subscribe, so Not gonna ask.